These are the solutions to practice quiz 3 for quiz 8 in the third trimester of Algebra 2. So you're going to need to refer to this standard normal curve diagram to answer questions 1 and 2. So you're either trying to figure out the boundary values or the percentage based upon the boundary values, figuring out the boundary values or how many of those have been added and subtracted from the mean. So 68.2% of the data, that's 1 standard deviation away. So you see that right here, goes to 1 and -1. So it's a distance of 1 away. So that's what you're going to do, is subtract it and add it once. So if it was 2, if it was 95.45, you would subtract it twice, if that was the percentage that was given. If it was 99.73%, then you would add and subtract it 3 times. All right, so question 2, it appears as though it's been subtracted 1 time and added 1 time. So 88 plus 10 is 98. So 1 time is the 68.27% of the data lies between those two. So again, you're just trying to figure out the percentage or how many times based on the percentage to add and subtract the mean or the standard deviation from the mean. This here has just been reassigned a mean of 0, so it can represent all situations. Anyway, all right, so question 3, this is where you start using the calculator. And so what it's doing, again, this was from the previous quiz, is just figuring out the vertical swatch of the area under the standard normal curve, and that will answer the question. It's either the amount of the population or the probability, if you randomly select someone from the population or something from the population, that that's true or that it falls within those particular limits. All right, so 110 and 120 and 130. So you're just going to go here again, and I'm going to do this a couple of times only, and then probably just show you the rest of the answers to this, 120 and 130. So 0.0214. which is 2.14%, so not very many. So what percentage of babies are born prematurely? So you have the 19 days, so it would be 219, below 219 we would have to say on that. And then it's just a complement question to that, so 238 and 10. Okay, so 0.0287, and then the complement to that is 1 minus 0.0287, and that's 0.9713. So 2.87% for not being born premature, and then 97.13% for, I'm sorry, for being born prematurely. 2.87% for not being born prematurely, 97.13%. Okay, so problem 5, if you ran that through, you would have 0.8413, 84.13%. Okay, pretty simple on that. Again, you're just using the calculator, you're inputting those values. You're either above something, below it, or between 2 values when it comes to calculating that vertical swatch underneath the normal, the standard normal curve. All right, so on the back here, you're going to go through and do these. You're going to input these values, and you are going to get 0.0131. You're going to get 0.8536 and then 0.1333. And this is all you really need the calculator for. Okay, we'll convert these all to a percent, 85.36 and then 13.33%. 33. So you combine A and C because that's would give you the percent of the population that would not be eligible to cheer. So we're going to multiply that by 12,900. And that's going to give us about 1,889 approximately. I won't be too stringent on your rounding techniques. And then you subtract that, and that's 10,111. So it's the complement principle each time that you do that. Again, this is 0.0131 plus 0.1333 for the 0.1464. And then you figure that number out. That's how many are not eligible to cheer. So subtract that from 12,900. And that's how many are eligible to cheer. An outlier to the left. So we have to subtract the 1.8 3 times. So I physically do this so you can see how many times it needs to get subtracted and then add it 3 times. So you can see on the standard normal curve that it's way out here past the 3. These little orange sections are where your outliers would lie. Okay, so again, the standard normal curve just reassigns the mean as the value of 0, no big deal there. But predominantly you would use that for the most part to do questions 1 and 2 on these practice quizzes. All right, so those are the solutions for the 3rd practice quiz. For the 8th practice quiz in the, let me say this again. These are solutions for the 3rd practice quiz for quiz 8 in the 3rd trimester of Algebra 2.